Hey beautiful, how you doing tonight? Welcome back to Lucky After Dark. Hey. I hope that you subscribe. I really appreciate all these new subscribers and the comments. I love the comments so much. It's really cool. It's really cool. And I have hopes and dreams that maybe this will actually turn into like a legit, pocket of YouTube. Like right now I am the only gay person talking about this stuff. And I kind of have my suspicions as to why, because I'm probably the only gay person clean enough that can actually discuss this stuff, or maybe even bold enough and stupid enough. I don't know, because, certainly this ain't the most ad-friendly content, but I just think that it takes a little bit of courage, because there is a misleading angle to this, side of prison that is just not really talked about. It's like straight guys aren't going to share this type of information because it's a secret. Like, they don't want anybody to know about it. And then gay guys, I don't think that they care, like, to be honest with you. I think that they just, do their time and then get out and keep it moving. It's like, what does any of this matter? It doesn't affect them in any kind of way. But I hate it because being that there is no one speaking on these things, then it never can be changed. I was caught by surprise when I went in there. I thought that I would be able to mind my business and not be bothered, but that wasn't the case. That was far from the case. Like, I was constantly harassed, constantly bothered, regardless of how I was trying to present myself. I was not trying to present myself as a queen, even though I don't mind it. But I mean, I'm very comfortable being feminine, but I'm not trying to become a woman. I'm not trying to impersonate a woman. I'm not trying to sell the illusion to anybody that I want to play the role of a woman. I am just a man that is feminine and attracted to other men. That's it. And also keep in mind, I'm attracted to men that are also attracted to men. I don't want to be liked because I remind you of a woman. Then that defeats the whole purpose of being gay and being proud to be gay. But it's like it's just not. The environment is hosed up. And then to add to the hosed up thing, honey, the reason why we hear it in this video is it's so hosed up that they trade sex for cookies and chips and soups and cakes and anything else. I mean, it is a survival environment. The trays are not very good food quality, and then even if you do get something good on the tray, then the portions are always very small, so you are, even with 3 meals a day, you are hungry. Like, you kind of get used to the feeling of never being full in prison, unless you have a nice box of commissary that you can make a bunch of stuff and you're snacking on things all day, and you eat the trays and stuff, then yeah, then you can be full, like, but for the most part, you kind of get used to the feeling of waiting until the next time you eat, pretty much. So because of that, people do rely on commissary in order to not starve. Definitely, queens, they give hand jobs, blow jobs, drop on all fours and do whatever else. A lot of times for anything. Cookies, soups, cakes, chips. They want to make a bowl pizza or whatever. As a matter of fact, to give you an example, a couple of examples, there was this guy that I was in the pod with, and he actually ended up kicking me out of the cell because this guy was like a thug. He had street cred and all this bullshit. The people in the pod, there was a good number of people in the pod that actually knew him from the streets. Like, they were from the same hood and things like that. He had street cred. I moved into the cell, and he was nice to me. He wasn't mean to me, but he was making sure that I understood, like, you can't stay in here because this is going to hurt my reputation, and people are going to be talking. People probably already are talking. They're probably surprised that I even let you in the cell, so you can't stay. But I'll be damned if the man definitely did not get me high. I was in there for the weekend. Like, I moved in on a Friday night, and by Monday, because, the unit managers, they don't work during the weekend, so they can't do moves on the weekend usually, unless it's like an emergency, you're going to the hole or something like that. But they don't just do moves from cell to cell on the weekends because the unit manager's gone. So I was there like Friday, and then Monday morning I was out the cell. But during that weekend, those 3 nights or whatever, each night he had me tripping high, you know, and I don't even know how I ended up bouncing on this man, but I definitely did. And it really, I mean, this might sound like a feeble excuse, because I'm sure you might be thinking like, well, a hoe's a hoe, honey. And you wouldn't be wrong for feeling like that. But to my defense, I was tired of being kicked out of the cell all the time and, you know, struggling, trying to find a situation where I could just settle in. Like, I was a good cellie. I didn't mind being out of people's way. I tried to move around the people or not, you know, just be in the way. I was very clean. You know, I kind of like would try to work with their energy. If they were a chatty person, then I try to open up and, you know, make conversation. If they don't want to be bothered, I would leave them alone, you know. But still in all, just being a gay guy, that's not good enough. Even though everybody complains about like cell partners and stuff, I was a terrific cell partner, but just because I'm gay, it was a problem for a lot of people. That's the part where I will agree with what people say, you know, about the trouble gay people have in prison. But that was more, I think, my personal trouble, because there's plenty of gay people in there that don't stand for that kind of shit. Like, they will make the person move out. If you have a problem, then you gotta leave. But they get that sense of empowerment because of the gang of guys that they have lusting after them. They have guys that they have an army, basically, where they don't feel nervous, you know, because if this person does do something to them, they're going to be fucked up by a couple of people, you know what I'm saying? But me, because I wasn't sleeping around with a bunch of people, and then I was nervous to talk to a lot of people, so I wasn't even making like connections with people. I'm on my own, you know, so I was out back. But because of this, getting to the point, I'm sorry, I'm always so long-winded, but because of this, I did start to try, like, through trial and error, I would try to test different things that, you know, hopefully would work. And this was somebody I thought, okay, maybe if we did something, maybe it would work. Maybe I could stay, but it didn't work out like that. I still had to leave. Although the plus of it, getting back to the topic, the plus of it was, even after I was moved out of the cell and it made him look ridiculous, nevertheless, I could go to this guy for anything, and I did. There was plenty of times that I went to him for, excuse me, a whole bunch of stuff. Like, there was like a queen and two guys that like hung out with us that were like part of the groups with the queens. You know, the four of us, we used to hang out all the time, every day, and play cards. And I would go to this guy and be like, oh, can I get some sodas and, you know, some soups and some crackers and some chili to make bowl pizzas, you know, and whatever else, 2 sausages, some pepperonis or something like that. Anything. These, you know, he needed to have these things, and he would give them to me. You know, I would ask for the strips, is what they were called in there. It's like a medicine thing, Suboxone strips. They like, you know, zen you out, kind of. But, you know, they had those in prison, and I would ask him for that. He'd give me those. You know, I'd ask him for wine. He'd give me that. Like, you know, I was asking him for food, like, all the time, actually. Cookies sometimes. And after I moved out of the cell with him, I wasn't even doing anything with him anymore, but he still was giving me stuff. And people wondered why, you know, people were questioning him why. He just pawned it off like he felt bad that I had to leave out of the cell. But, you know, it definitely looks suspicious. And I had queens that would tell me all the time, like, child, you are a queen. You never are supposed to go hungry, you know? But I don't know. You know, I'm not really in the business of giving somebody head for, you know, a pack of cookies. Even though, I mean, I'm not perfect either. But, hey, whatever. And the first time, I guess, that this was kind of like, you know, proposition towards me was actually in jail. I was in a maximum security pod, and these guys came up to my cellie and told him, like, hey, 2 of us want to offer your cellie some honey buns for, like, I think they wanted me to go in the shower with them or something like that. Like, and then when they would go in the shower, they used to like try to blow me a kiss and all this stupid stuff. This is what goes on in there. But no straight guy wants to talk about this. Chances are that guy went home and has a girlfriend now. But that's what he was doing in there. He was talking to my celly, too scared to talk to me, honey, first of all. And then second of all, talking to my celly about, hey, can we give him some honey buns so he can come in the shower with me? And then every time he's going into the shower, he's blowing me kisses. I was like, no thank you. I'm good. But in my mind, I was thinking like, bitch, that is not any price close enough for these honey buns. I don't want your honey buns. You can't have mine. You can't afford them. And that's why when I did get to prison, I started seeing how this operates. I thought like, well, I need to get a guy that like really can give me anything that I want. Because if I just have to be sucking dick all the fucking time and bending over for any Tom, Dick, and Harry, then I'ma pick somebody that can pay the price, you know? Like, I don't want to be doing this, but it's just forced on the person all the time. And it's can even get kind of really degrading and depressing. Like, I don't know if you'll find this funny, but there was somebody that had moved onto the compound when I was at the private facility where I met Cam. They referred to this guy as a 2-bag hoe because he would suck anybody off for 2 bags of chips. And I really found that disgusting. I mean, I understand it's prison and all of that stuff. And I don't mean the guy. I didn't find the guy disgusting. I found the guy to be sad, but the men that were making fun of him, I found them to be disgusting because it's because of them that now he is like that. You know what I'm saying? These are the way that the guys come at the queens. You know what I mean? Like, I just hate it. And then I really hate it because it's like they crack their jokes with their friends and make all these homophobic remarks about, oh, you know, well, he ain't sucking mine. I don't care, you know, how many bags of chips I got, blah, 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 whatever. You know, but then in secret, they actually would proposition the guy, you know, I got 2 bags of chips or whatever, and get their business done in the middle of class or wherever on the rec yard somewhere and, you know, keep it moving. And then meanwhile, they get to make fun of this guy. I don't know. I really hate it. I don't like it at all, you know, but yeah, that's just a little bit more about prison and the way it, you know, the way it rolls up in there. That's all I got for tonight. I guess I don't really want to be talking about this topic too much, but yeah, if you have any questions about just, I don't know, you know, prison, leave your comments. I love your comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I think you could probably tell that this one, maybe I shouldn't have talked about this one, because it kind of put me out. I'm like, them motherfuckers in there. I hate the guys of prison. I really do. I feel for the queens, because it's an awful environment. You have so many guys. As a matter of fact, there's an example of a guy that I've been debating about making a video about. There's this guy, Hassan, or something. He left me all these comments, you know, flirtatious comments, talking about he busted and all of these things. The dude, Hassan, look him up. Or I might leave it in this comment. But he has like 250,000 subscribers. And when I found his channel, he is like somebody that makes all these homophobic jokes all the time, because his brand is being like a hood dude, you know what I mean, a street dude, and it pisses me off because he has multiple channels that he's made. So obviously he's made like these bootlegged ass channels where he can slide into smaller channels like mine and hit on these guys, and he's a frog toad looking guy that you don't have a prayer. Even if he was actually in the community, he's not my type. You know what I mean? So it just pissed me off. Like, and it really pisses me off because a type of guy like that, it is so common in the gay community, and it's even more common in prison. Oh my gosh. That's why I can't stand. I will never stop talking about these things. Like, no matter how bothered I get on a topic, or sometimes I be hyped when I be talking to y'all, I be bouncing in my seat, got my hands all moving. But no matter what, I'm gonna keep talking on this stuff because, like, people need to hear it. If I have to deal with it, honey, okay? If I have to deal with it, and if you have to deal with it, if God forbid, praise Jesus that you never ever get locked up. God forbid. But if you ever do, you will have to deal with it too. Then these motherfuckers need to hear about it. And the voice needs to start being pushed at them. Like, stop being on the down low. Stop creeping behind your women's back. You know what I mean? They got porn videos like this where it's like, you know, trying to bust a nut in this dude's ass before my girlfriend comes home. And it's like, people love this topic. I hate shit like that. I always have. I've always hated stuff like that, because to me, I feel like if I have the courage, little old faggot me, little old girly feminine me that deserves no respect from men, from macho men, if I have the courage to actually wear my shit proudly, you know what I'm saying, boldly, then what kind of macho ass man are you that you can't do it? You know what I mean? Like, you have to hide behind all these snake ass comments and stuff and then try to come at me on the low? No, you know what I mean? And honestly, for the people that watch, and I have noticed that I got quite a few masculine guys that are in the community that I really have a lot of respect for y'all sometimes, more than feminine guys. Because, like me, I can walk into a room and people are going to know that I'm gay. You constantly have to, like, be secure in your skin. Because you have to always, like, disclose yourself. Like, introduce your sexuality or come out of the closet in some kind of way. Like, multiple times. You know, just upon like, you know, welcoming yourself. And I think that takes a lot of, like, comfort in your skin. And I always have had a lot of respect for men like that, you know. But to the down low brothers, hang yourself, okay? Hang yourself. Oh my God. And just leave me the fuck alone. My goodness. But, alright, y'all. I'm sorry. I was a little bit turned up for this. It really bothered me, you know, to be so degraded all the time in prison. Like, you know, it sucks that I felt like I had to sleep with people just to be able to lay my head down at night. You know, it sucks that guy eventually had a reputation as being referred to as two-bag hoe. That's crazy. Like, that sucks. And when all it is that he's hungry. Like, that's crazy. You know, but there's no support for the gay people in prison, and they're always just sought after to suck dick. It's like, it's, you know, whew, thank goodness I wasn't allowed a machine gun up in there, or there would have been a lot of people that wouldn't have walked out, honey. There would have been a lot of people that wouldn't have came home, honey. I would have been popping them off all the fucking time. Just been like a cheerleader for the gay guys, you know? Like a warrior for the gay guys, I guess, is what I would have been like. And in my own way, and then I'm done, because we're heading on 20 minutes. But in my own way, I feel like I kind of was, because I refused to conform to certain things. I didn't sit down peeing. I didn't pee sitting down. I wouldn't remove my facial hair. And in fact, when I got with Cam, he encouraged, if you look at like my first video, you'll see right when I came home, I had a beard. That's because of Cam. He wanted me to grow my beard in. He didn't like the image that people were trying to put on me. And he really didn't like how it made me feel. And he wanted me to break out of that in some kind of way. And for us to show an example that we're just two guys. I'm not his woman. He didn't even like it when I would refer to myself as a queen, which I was comfortable with that, but he didn't like it. Like, you know, he doesn't like me using feminine terms for myself. He likes it when I refer to myself as like a guy, a regular guy, you know, a gay guy, you know. He doesn't even think of us as like who's feminine and who's masculine. I do, because he's clearly more masculine than me, but he doesn't like that. He likes us to be like equals, you know. Can't you tell why I love him so much? Yeah, you know. But okay, I love you guys. I love you guys so much, you know. And thank you for listening to my rant. I'm going to try to be a little bit more organized with these videos lately, because I feel like recently I've been kind of just, you know, rather than giving you points, I'm just kind of just like screaming at you. But I'm going to get it together. Alright, love you guys. See you in the next Lucky After Dark. And be safe, you guys. Be safe. Bye.